Good evening and welcome to Deadliest Catch Recap on July 28th, people. It's been a crazy season of Deadliest Catch and it's still not over yet, people. With me, as always, lovely Miss S. Miss S, please stand by.
All right.
Tell the people how crazy it's been this week.
It has been a crazy week indeed. Very crazy. This deadliest catch did not disappoint. I'm telling you, I was on the edge of my seat the entire 2 hour episode.
Tell them a little bit about Captain Wild Bill.
Okay, well, this episode pretty much focused on three of the major boats and the Cape Caution with Wild Bill. It started out that he had a great season last season. He dropped off, or I guess he just had delivered his OB quota, 320 pounds of Ophelio crab. So he had just dropped it off. He had a little bit of extra time, it looks like. So he was going back out to capture some bear dye crab because he says that could be some quick money. And that's what he's doing. So he was looking for 150,000 pounds of the bear dye. And so he's back at sea, and I'll tell you, he seems to know what he's doing. He seems to know where he's going. He had a specific plan, and
then they had a breakdown.
Well, yeah. I think in this episode, really the only trauma that they had on the boat was when they discovered the saltwater leak was leaking into their freshwater tanks, and that is not a good thing. I don't know if you've ever had, you're in the ocean and you start swallowing that salt water, it can make you sick, and you can't drink it. So that was a huge problem being out to sea if their salt or their freshwater tanks were contaminated with salt water. So that was kind of iffy there for a while. But turns out they were able to fix it pretty quickly and keep their drinking water intact and continue fishing. So
now I will bring you back to the Mesa studio and I'll let you know exactly what happened on the Northwestern because it's been a crazy, crazy season for the Northwestern. So let's begin. The Northwestern left town. Mandy went home. Now they are pulling up crab pots, and they were starting to pull up the crab pots, but there was a really bad storm. Now they are going back to town because they really did not want to try and fish in the big storm because their boat had so many problems. I tell you the truth, I was glad they didn't try and fish. They could not get into town, so they put the anchor down. But because the Northwestern had so many problems this season, it had another problem. The anchor broke. The anchor broke, and then they got it back on the boat. So they tried. They tried and tried, and then they got to port. Now pulling. Now they're after they left town. They went back out to the crab grounds and they were pulling up the pots. They found the crab. They had 16 more pots. And then before you know it, they were pulling up their last pots and they had a lot of crab. Now let's talk about Jake Harris because, his boat, Jake on the saga, because, he's a great captain. But, his boat broke down, so he was in town. So they got the boat fixed and got a new deckhand. Now they're back out at sea and they are pulling up some crab pots. They still cannot find the crab. They are going to move the pots. When they moved the pots, they found the crab. They filled the boat, so they went to town to offload. But then there was a problem with one of their deckhands, and they were offloading at St. Paul, Alaska. And then Jake had to take the saga all the way to Anchorage, Alaska, because a crew member was giving problems and just being a real bug. So they took him to Anchorage, Alaska. Now, Miss S, I want you to talk about Wild Bill in a minute. Not yet.
Alrighty.
Not yet. Okay, now.
Yeah, and if I could just add something too to the saga,
Yes.
you know, the deckhand that, you know, Jake had hired, he started to work out really well. I was kind of sad that you know, he quit, because I thought, you know, he was working out well, even though they said, oh, he's a little slow, he's too big, he's this, he's that. But you know, anyway, so now he's down to his 4-man crew again. But you know, you never know what's going to happen next week. But you know, so he's down again. But yeah, as far as the Cape Caution and Wild Bill, I gotta say, he's doesn't give up. I mean, he's out there fishing for the bear dye, even with the leaks in his tank, and you know, making money kind of thing. He said it was, you know, kind of a really glad that the season was over. I think all of the captains said they were beat. They were tired. They were waiting for the season to be over so they could just go into port and just kick back and relax. So overall, I think it was a good episode. It was just a lot going on with all three of the boats, but of course the Northwestern being the one they focused on the most, and with the most drama, I would say. So definitely stay tuned for more.
Yes. And then talk about, well, no, that's all we had. And now I will bring you back live to me because we got to talk about what else crazy happened. The United States Coast Guard got a call from a vessel because someone was sick that was like disabled or something like that.
Fell. I think it was they fell off a ladder on the boat, the Barbara J.
Okay, yes. So the Coast Guard was called to the Barbara J because a guy fell off a ladder. Which is crazy to be on a ladder on a boat in the Bering Sea because, well, let's face it, a roadway fits, boom, you're off the ladder, and boom, you're in a helicopter. But the Coast Guard airlifted him up. They sent the rescue swimmer down to package the patient. Then they lifted up the guy in the gurney. And for those of you that don't know what a gurney is, I suggest you watch Deadliest Catch. But they got him to the hospital. And guess what, guys? That is the end of Deadliest Catch recap for today. But don't forget, new Deadliest Catch Tuesday at 9 on Discovery. It will be from 9 p.m. to 11:03. Don't forget to check out Deadliest Catch recap Thursday, August 4th at 2:30 p.m. I'm going to put Miss S on your screen a minute for her final words. Stand by. Final words.
Yes, I agree. Tune in Tuesday evening, 9 o'clock. It's a 2-hour episode again. It's kind of the part 2 of this past week's episode. You do not want to miss it. It, again, left off, this last episode kind of left you hanging with what's going on with Sig on the Northwestern. He just doesn't look like he's completely himself, if you know what I mean. You really want to tune in Tuesday to see what happens with that, with Sig, because he is one of our favorite captains.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
And for more information, go to, oh, hang on. In fact, I'm going to give you final words again, Miss S, because we kind of had technical difficulties. difficulties.
Okay, well, that happens, not a problem. Again, you are going to want to tune in to Tuesday evening's episode. It is part 2 of the episode we just saw. So kind of finishes up where we left off, kind of answers some loose ends. We definitely want to see what's happening with Captain Sig on the Northwestern. As it left us, we're just not sure what happened with him, and a little concerned. So definitely tune in Tuesday night on Deadliest Catch, and stay tuned for more excitement.
And for more information, check out our website. It's at 3W Stems Weather Center News, Arizona. Click on the tab when you get to our website that says Deadliest Catch Recap. Make sure you watch Tim's Weather Center News. It'll be live on Sunday. And more information, go to www.3ws.timsweathercenternewsarizona.com. We want to thank you all for joining us. I want to thank Miss S again for joining us for Deadliest Catch Recap. And have a great day. Stay safe out there.